And we are live. Shout out to everybody who'll be watching this on YouTube or Facebook on the replay for that matter. We give our folks a couple minutes to come in, as we do every Friday. And for the people that are tuning in for the first time, this is our Friday show. I'm Jimmy About the Hood. Our partner crime, my brother Corey. What's up, Corey?
Here was popping. Everything is good, man. Especially on a day like today, I'm glad to be breathing, man.
Man, listen. Crazy, man. Like this is wild, B. This is definitely wild, man. Folks coming in, man. Let us know who's here, man. When you come in, please leave us a comment. Let us know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, Crystal?
Scroll this at the bottom for a minute. Crystal, what's up, sis? How are you? How are you? Thank you for, rocking with us. Latoya's here. Hey. Man, listen, the culture definitely took a big hit today.
Candy, what's going on?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody for rocking with us, man. Jose's here. Jose, what's up, Jose?
What's going on, Jose?
Yeah, man. So it's crazy, man, because we've been talking all day about just X and what's going on, but we had it always leads to a deeper conversation. Andrea, what's going on? Just about legacy when you see the outpouring of love that X got.
Yeah, man.
From YouTube as well. Margarita, how are you, Margarita?
What's going on, Margarita?
Thanks for joining us.
Mike, what's going on?
Yeah, so folks is pouring in. Yeah, so continue to let us know who's here as you come in. We'll just start this conversation, man. But me and you were talking earlier when the news first broke, man. We got Tiff checking in from Los Angeles, man. Been banging DMX all day with the hood at.
Philly our hood, but X was from every hood, man.
Listen, man, every hood. They rep every hood pretty much. Dwight,
what's up? Going on, Dwight?
And what's crazy is, I left the crib today for a minute, and everybody's playing X in their cars. I'm like, yo, I forgot what year it was for a second. I'm talking about every car. Every car flying by, and they got
X had it time warped out here, man.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Oof. Can we talk about how this exemplifies a man who was never allowed to be a child? So many thoughts. Yeah, this is Don is here. We can officially start. What's up, Don? How you good, brother?
Yeah.
So many thoughts come to mind with this, man, in terms of we created a conversation about legacy. Like, what does it mean to have a legacy? And how does even the work that we do, how does it contribute to legacy? And not just legacy, there's so many talks about mental health, about substance abuse, about empathy, sympathy.
Yeah,
so there's so many ways
about physical abuse. My man was physically abused as a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's the whole legacy, his transparency is a legacy. You know what I mean?
That too. But first and foremost, before we even get into any of these conversations, man, I just want to say rest in power to the God, man. So definitely rest in power. You know what I'm saying? You will miss. You made a mark on the world, man. So I want to start with that first and foremost, man. But let's just have this conversation, folks. So what's the first thing that came to mind for you, good brother?
Man, I was hurt. I normally don't get hurt when celebrities, you know what I mean, pass, because it's part of, it's part of the normal evolution of life. But you know what I mean, I felt like X was my homie from the way. I feel like he was I knew him because he was so transparent, right? And then he put all of that into his music. And so we was able to see that man, and we watched him literally grow up, go through the pains of being, on substance abuse, the violence in his life. We watched all of that, man. It was like watching a movie, man. And then to see him succeed at the highest levels through all of that, he was the late 90s, early 2000s. Everybody could talk about Jay-Z and Eminem and all these other rappers. X was the late 2000s. When you dropped anything from 97 all the way up to 2005, X was on it. He was hot for an 8-year pop. And then his own demons, dragged him and took him from the top and put him, he never went to the bottom, but he never was on top like he was because his demons dragged him down. But man,
man. It was tough, right? So I was thinking about 2020 and 2021. I think somebody said in the chat too, when Kobe left, and you know what I'm saying, with transition. I don't want to say left, but
Yeah,
it's just crazy when you see people that have who are part of your upbringing, man. You know, and the crazy part about X, man, I had the privilege of meeting X one time, and it's like the craziest thing is, for as big as a star as he was like one of the most humble cats you'll ever meet, and that always stuck with me. And it always stuck with me because when you see people talking about him, even today, when you see a lot of people talking about him, and I was on Twitter earlier, and I'm not talking about celebrities. I'm talking about the everyday folks who like
people.
just had encounters with him, and they're like posting their pictures and telling a story about it. It's like that's a different type of love, right? You'll have celebrities that pass and everybody seems to be hurt, but you don't see the same show of love. Is not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like this person made my favorite artist. He touched people in a different way. I
Yeah,
saw so
man.
many people talk about them dealing with substance abuse and what he meant to them. And you know, it's just interesting, man, because you talk about transparency.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
always listen. I try to be as transparent as possible, but I still struggle with it because I know that you know um certain folks watch what I say, but
Yeah,
I also know that I kind of like have this I admire people that are completely themselves, right? Whether I agree
yeah,
with them or disagree with them, when they're just like transparent and they're completely themselves, I kind of envy that.
yeah, man.
I wish I could be more like that, right?
Yeah, I'm sort of like that. Like I sometimes I can't help myself. Like I get to the point where I just can't help myself. You know what I mean? Like and it come out. So I struggle with tamping down sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
be
but
wanting to tamp down, but then it's kind of like, man, nah, man, this is who
yeah,
I am. This is what I
you know,
do.
I get it, but there's still like there's certain people who are 24/7, 365. They just are who
Yeah,
they are.
yeah, they just want to go.
And I have like an admiration for that. Like there's a certain, and again, I don't have to even agree with you. Like it's one of the reasons why I love Cardi B, right?
Yeah,
Whether I like her music, whether does that none of that matter.
I don't agree with 90% of the stuff she say, but
But
I
it don't
love
even
her.
matter. Yeah, exactly. But it don't matter when someone is like their authentic self. I'm kind of attracted to that. So Kim is checking in. Kim, what's going on? How are you? Can
Here,
you imagine if he was a rapper who dropped the album today? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right? Because today is the rappers still even drop. Yeah, they do rap on Fridays, I guess. Yeah. So
but my
um
thing is, he #1 on iTunes today.
yeah, man. 2020 and 2021 has been crazy. Phil, what's up, Phil?
Year was going on, Phil.
Passer coming through with the bars. You have to entrap and enslave a dog because you can never overthrow a god. Identity theft.
Ooh,
Pastor come in with with
hey,
scripture.
he be barring us up.
I've been asking people where were the first time they heard that part. Yeah, man.
Man, I know exactly where I was. I was listening to a
Mark, what's up,
mixtape.
bro?
I was listening to a mixtape, and it had where my dog's at. It was the joint, the K Solo disc.
Hmm.
And I was like, who the hell is this? He's snapping on K Solo because before they start blanking out K Solo name, his name was on the
Yeah,
song. I was like, why? Because K Solo was hot for like 25 seconds. And I was like, why is he crushing K Solo like this?
yeah, man.
And I was like, oh man, I messed with Bull because he just was like, he was saying people name. That was back in the day where they was doing them subliminals. And he just said boy name like this is what it is. I was like, dang.
Adrian, what's up, Adrian? How you?
I
Yeah,
was
man.
like, damn,
Happy
why
for the
you
dog.
K Solo like that? And then that joint, it went from me hearing it on the mixtape to me hearing it on the radio every single day. And then it just went, it just went nuts.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, man.
Phil said Kobe passed and hurt my soul, bro. Kobe, that's a whole man. Listen, I don't think I've ever reacted to any celebrity kind of that way. Corey the plug, J.E. from Oakland. Oakland's in the building. What's up, Bay
Here,
Area?
what's going on?
Bay Area.
We got two folks from the West Coast
That's
on
what's up,
here.
man. Thank you guys for kicking it with us, man. This feels like when Pac died. Yeah,
Yeah, man. This is exactly I had this exact same feeling, except for when Pac died, I had this feeling like I was 19, so I ain't had full control of my emotions, man. So it was crazy. I had
you know
just
something, man? As
huh?
much as I love Pac, Pac didn't affect me the way Nip did. Nip affected me more,
That's
and I'm gonna tell you why.
crazy.
Right, and it has nothing to do with the music, um, or even the person for that matter. I think that it's the time we're in, right? So
Yeah,
when Pac and Big died, like I remember vividly where I was when I heard both. But it was different. I couldn't immediately grab my phone and click buttons, and then you see like interviews and their thoughts and their highlight reel. You got their highlight reel in front of you just at the click of a button because everybody's posting their favorite moments. So I
yeah.
think that kind of is what gives it like it kind of changes things.
I was more angry when Nip died than hurt though. It felt a little bit different. I was more angry than hurt. Like when Pac died, I was hurt. I was like, you know what I mean? It still, it felt weird, but I was more angry than hurt. Like
But you know what? The
when
crazy
Nip
thing
died,
is when Pop died, I didn't think it took me a while to kind of like
I
come to
think it
terms
was
with it.
real.
No, because if you remember back then, Pac wasn't getting shot in the like Pac was always
Yeah,
going.
he was getting clapped.
It was one of them girls like he'd be all right, and then when it's like he died, like no he didn't. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no he didn't. He gonna be back. Like it took me a minute to realize like no he ain't
He's
coming back.
never coming back.
Yeah, it took me a minute. It
Yeah,
took me a
man.
minute. So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's kind of crazy, man. So Joyful's in the building. What's up, Joyful? How are
yeah.
you?
What's going on?
What's good, family? Who the Facebook user is, man? Much love to you. Yeah, thousands of years. Also, keep doing it. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate all the love from you guys, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Man, K Solo bit his style when he was in jail. Yeah, definitely heard them stories several times. DMX Perez could be albums themselves. Yeah,
Ooh,
man.
man,
Listen,
listen.
and that's the part. Like you see a lot of that stuff today, and it's like it hit different. Yeah, see, he said Nip hurt like Pac too. Yeah, Nip. Yeah, man.
I mean, it hurt,
Yo,
but
Andrew, I ain't
like I
gonna lie.
said, I
I
was
was
lashing
hurt.
out and I was angry when Nip died. Like when Pac died, I wasn't even angry. I was hurt. Like with X
Yeah, that's
because
crazy. That's how
I was rooting for him. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, because you could see Pac starting to make a transition, and he got clipped in the middle of that transition. Like with
see,
Nip,
but for Nip, for me, was what you just said about Pac. Nip was making a transition, but Nip was taking action. Nip wasn't just, Nip was putting plays in place. Like he was
yeah,
in the
no,
field.
he was
He was
doing the
in the
same thing.
field. You know what I'm saying?
But
So it's like
I
oh,
didn't have that the thing that I didn't have with Nip that I had. See, I had
connected
the
to the
thing is
music.
I never knew who Nipsey Hussle was music wise.
Yeah.
I only knew him from the crypto space. I didn't
Okay.
even know who he was music
Yeah.
wise.
So I knew
So
his music, and I knew
so
his music. Like Blue Laces is my thing. Like I knew his music. Like obviously not as much as Pac's music. It's a whole different thing.
yeah,
But the thing about Nip is Nip's interviews was like albums. Like Nip was a
exactly.
Nip's
That's
interviews.
how I came
But
across
but
Nip
but the thing
on
is,
YouTube.
I felt like not to use the cliche. I hate this cliche, but I felt like Pop Cross on Nip could run. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah, yeah.
he was the extension of that. But
Yeah,
he was
man.
the extension of that, but he was putting plays in. So when that happened, it kind of hit me a whole different way. In fact, and to be honest with you, Kobe was different, right? Because Kobe is someone that I knew. Like we played ball with Kobe. Like I played
Yeah,
AAU ball. Like what I'm saying, for the folks that don't know, we old fat black guys now. Me and Corey used
yeah.
to play
We
ball together.
definitely played ball. We
But
definitely played in the same league, but
yeah,
not NBA. But
yeah. We was
you
on
know
the
what I
team
mean.
together. We actually was on a high school team together. But in AAU, I always tell the story, right? Playing against Kobe, and Kobe was a little bit younger than us. Like was when I realized I needed to like take my studies more serious. You know how when you You know, you know how when you're in high school,
Get
like
on the
hold
court.
on, I'm just listen. Here's my time of transparency, like DMX, right? You everybody in high school thinks they're going to the league, right? Until you play somebody that's at another level. And I remember, I think I was like a junior and he was a freshman or something like that, and we played against him in AAU, and he was the best player on the floor. And this was a floor
By
that
far.
and this was on a floor where a bunch of other people that made the pros, like Rasheed Wallace, Alvin Williams, they were all on the floor, and he was the best player. I was like, that's what a pro looks like. Let me go pick this math book back up because
Yeah.
it's levels.
Let me go play football. Let me go play
So,
football.
but my point in saying that is the relationship is a little bit different when it comes to Kobe, so it hits a little different. But like with Nip and them, I don't really know these dudes like that. But Nip, like that's why I actually shocked myself the way I felt when Nip died. Like, it was shocking to myself. Like
Yeah.
with X, like the funny thing about X is everything that's been going over the last couple of days is like I've been kind of like preparing myself for it, but it still hit heavy. And it brought on a lot of thoughts about like not just X, but also like I said, even relating to what we talk about black wealth. When we talk about black wealth isn't just money. it isn't just the
stories,
documentary.
man. Is the
It isn't just crypto. It isn't just metals. Like
yeah,
Black Wealth
man.
is deeper than that, and it made me like kind of just take a step back and think about legacy, and that's why we called today's show what we did. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. Let's see what the folks, Patricia, goes with your view and belief and message, whether music, community, etc. Nobody believed he's yo. That's how I was. Like I was like Pop be that.
Yeah,
Dawn,
man.
how are you? Happy Friday. Happy
Yeah,
Friday.
what's going on, Don?
Damn, it's been 2 years already. That's crazy. Time is flying. And I
So
was
the same thing with Kobe.
yeah, man. I remember taking the Greyhound to Texas for a family reunion. The only tape I had was DMX. Yeah, that was that work though.
Yeah, that was the ultimate work. Damn.
Yo, when the
Yeah,
transparency of a person's life ends on their transition to a transformation, it's a tragedy to all.
yeah. I mean, because that's the thing. You could see X. The thing about X was he never proclaimed perfection. And he
Yeah,
was always working on himself. And so when he failed, nobody cared because we understood that he was constantly working on himself. You know
yeah.
what I mean? He never said I was a perfect person. He never said I'm trying to be perfect. He said I'm an imperfect person that's working on myself. You know what I mean? And so we all loved him because he never said I'm better than you. I'm different than you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He never even said he more talented than us, and even though he was, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like I said, he was at the very top of his game, of the game. And his transparency about his demons is the thing that he was the same. That's why him and Pac to me were the same because their transparency about the things that were going on
Mm-hmm.
in the pain they put in their music that resonates with me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and
So
so when I,
everything about that Davey D, if you guys want to say, it's funny because I go back and watch the interviews almost like watching an album. That's why I know exactly what interview you talk about because I watched it multiple times. Jamil, what's up, good brother?
hear
Um,
what it
crazy
is,
part is this made me reflect on like family members I have that have substance abuse problems, right? So I got family members on both sides, like just being transparent again, my transparent bag that have substance issues and have had them my whole life, and I love them nonetheless. But it made me reflect on the fact that how it's a sickness because you talk about someone who had resources, right, and opportunities, but they still couldn't win that battle.
they can't
So
outrun.
it
They
always
can't.
makes me like kind of remind myself to have empathy and try to like understand that although you care about a person and they have these issues, like sometimes it's a real struggle, it's a real fight. um so it kind of like made me reflect on even like my personal life and my family with people that have substance abuse problems. So
Man, listen, we grew up in the hood, dog. We seen people with the greatest potential get folded because they couldn't outrun those demons. Like we talk about with the youth when we talk to the youth and we go behind the wall or we just talking to the youth in general and they're telling us these stories about watching people get killed and or other young people killing. We live in Philadelphia where young people are killing young people and
man,
we always say, where did they get that trauma? And with X, we knew where the trauma came from because he told us. But for the most part, we don't get those kind of stories. All we see is the back end. All we see is the hurt and trauma folded, tenfold on other families because somebody hurt them and they brought
man,
them
listen,
trauma. They take it
listen,
out and they take it out into the world and they hurt other people.
listen to this
But with
experience
X,
I had today, bro. I have one of my tenants, right? It's the ninth, and he ain't paid me rent yet. So I was just checking in on him because he's never late. So I hit him up like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I'm not sweating you. I'm just making sure you're okay or whatever. Come to find out, his son got gunned down in the streets of Philly,
damn,
and
yo,
he was like apologizing to me, like, I'm sorry, I know I'm not late on that. I'm like, bro, like, it ain't even that serious. Like, it ain't even that
yeah,
serious. Like, but he just started telling me the story. He had to bury his son this Wednesday, and the crazy part is, his son like just turned 20, like gunned down in the streets of Philly, and it's like it is. This is right after finding out like the whole thing about DMX. I'm sitting like, man, I
yeah.
felt bad. I felt bad. I was just calling like, cause you ain't never, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, like
I felt
somebody,
like,
when somebody get out of character, it's like if he was late all the time, you wouldn't even check.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
what I'm
But
saying?
it was out of character for him not to be on time, so you
Yeah,
checked on him. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like it's the knife. Like I'm, that when somebody do something, it set off something. When like, let me call this person and make sure that they, you know what I mean? Like they
that
start getting
even
out of
that
character.
even clicked on me, right? Because I got this problem. I like torture myself with the Citizens app. I delete it and put it on every once in a while, but it's like it's so much violence that now in the world. I ain't even gonna say the city, in the world, that you see stuff happen and you never even recognize. Like it's almost like I don't want to say we're desensitized because we're not, because it does affect you, but it's like you never know just how the six
Yeah,
degrees of separation, how close it is. Because I mean, I probably saw it on the app and just didn't pay it any mind. You know what I mean? Like,
because you
damn,
didn't know his
yeah,
son's name.
yeah, yeah, like another
You know what
brother,
I mean?
like,
Which is,
because
and for me,
they don't put. I know his name. They don't put names on the joint. It's like 20-year-old, 15-year-old. Da, da, da.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you see it and you see it so much that you never think like you just said. Every time that happens, there's a family. Like when we go
yeah,
out and you talk about legacy, when we go outside, we make decisions, whether we talking about investing, how we carry ourselves, how we treat people. We never think about like how one decision can affect multiple people, right? Because I mean, you have control over yourself, but you don't think that I can make a decision and it can affect so many. I'm not even talking about just your immediate family. Like you can go out and make a decision right now that's going to affect all your sons, your wife, but it goes further than that. It goes a lot further than that.
yeah, it does.
So it's just something to think about, man. Like it's just a
And
lot,
so,
man.
and
So
what the thing about X, and which is I'm proud of him, is because when you talk to people that is around him,
she said that saying is in a negative with
yeah,
15.
he got 15 kids and he's like a couple $1 million in the hole. But
Mm.
as far as his finances, yeah. But um, you
Hey,
know,
Ruby, how are you? How are
if
you?
we talking about, this is a dude that ran into trouble with the IRS. He couldn't go overseas because of the child support. So he couldn't tour and make money overseas because of the child support. So, you know what I mean? Like they put him in a hole and then they restricted him from going to get the money to pay him. So I don't, it is what it is. I'm not saying that he wasn't right with his cash, and part of it was because of his addictions. Because I think that's what the underlying problem was. You know what I mean? He had those addictions and he kept trying to, again, I'm not making excuses for the man. I'm just saying what it was. He got in trouble with the law. Right at the top of his career, they put him in jail. And then when they let him out, they wouldn't let him tour when he could have made the money back. You know what I mean? And
Adrian, that's right. It is sad.
that's exactly what happened to the man. I'm not saying, that happened to a lot of people, though. You know what I mean? Like that happened to a lot of celebrities. And so I'm not going, again, this is not an excuse making thing. This is just the facts of what happened to him in his life. You know what I mean? And so he was, yeah,
That's
yeah,
a true
Kobe.
story, bro. That's facts, man. That's how you know it's levels, bro. When you see somebody, you like, oh, he
Yeah,
different.
when you see somebody on a whole different level, you doing the same exact thing, but you not on the same level,
Yeah, it's like,
change your
yo,
whole
it's
change your
different.
whole thinking.
I said he ain't get a better GPA than me, but anyway, it says he was actually looking clean and sober last year. Yeah, man. But that's the thing about them, like what's up, Sahan? How are you, by the way? But that's what's the thing about those
Yeah, but
those.
the thing I'm most proud about. I'm sorry, I forgot. I lost my train of thought because they started some of my money. But this the thing about X that I want to talk about that has nothing to do with money is how we treated people.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's
That's a
kind of
legacy. That's a legacy onto itself, right?
absolutely.
Because you can't find many people in the world who don't like DMX. And for all those people out there who want to talk about the dogs and all of that stuff, I got 3 words: F them dogs. DMX, he treated people well. You know what I mean? And so because people been bringing up the dog stuff, and I'm like, yo, man, I don't approve of what he did, but I don't want to talk about no dogs on the day that man died. I don't want to talk about that.
I ain't even seen that. That ain't come across my. You got some savages on you to come across your
Yo,
tongue.
man, people been bringing that up all day, man. I've been on Twitter, I've been on
you
Twitter, I've been on Instagram, I've been on the book, and people bringing that up, man. Talking about the dog
you
fight
got some savages on your
on
time.
his
I ain't
death
seen it.
day.
It says
Yo,
so Margarita says DMX openness and transparency to his issues allowed him to stand out from the crowd. His position as a celebrity and candidly just speaking of his issues, humanizing. That's true. That's
yeah,
absolutely
it's
damn man.
100%
Jamil,
true.
it's crazy that Jamil put this list up here because some of these folks, man. I mean, I forgot like DMX,
Scott Rock.
MC3, Bushwick Bill, Scott LaRock, KMG, the Illustrator, Seagram, Fresh Kid Ice, MC Trouble, and Shorty Low. Like that's just the name of few. Funny thing is, you probably put another 100 more names, man. That
You could. Domino, Big L. You know what I mean? Pun.
My guy, Fred the Godson, man.
Fred, last year from COVID.
Yo,
I was like, yo, it's crazy out here, man. The young
yo,
boys last year was
that right
killed.
there is a fact, bro. You see him like, yo, he remind me of so many of my family members, like for different reasons, for different reasons. So that's absolutely factual. Trouble T. Roy, damn, R.I.P. Trouble T. Roy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Building legacy becomes easier when your mindset shifts from wanting to make an impression and desire to make an impact.
Oof.
Antonio, that's so fire because we always say impact is greater than income. And a lot of times what I recognize, a lot of us are selfish, right? Let's just keep it. A lot of us are selfish and we don't even think about legacy. But even when we talk about legacy, a lot of times we're just talking about finances, and legacy goes way beyond that. How you treat people is so important. And that's one of the things about that I even thought about in retrospect, like looking at this whole day is how you treat people, because like I said, you see the stories and not just from celebrities, from everyday people and how he treated them. Like that's its own currency that you make an impact in people. Like his impact will, here's the thing, let me sum this up because I'm running over my words. Energy lives forever. So I say that to say that, he'll always be with us because that energy he put out there, that energy is going to live through everybody else. So that's the thing about legacy that I want people to understand. Like, what we do in terms of finances is one thing, but that energy you put out there in terms of collaboration, in terms of
how you treat people, man.
Nice to people. Yeah. Damn. 15.
Yeah, he got 15 kids.
No, I'm looking at this one. A 15-year-old got shot and killed on our block a few days ago. 15. It's insane right now, bro. Like, oh my God. Decisions, 2 cars. Someone gets out of the car to comfort the car behind him and say he's too close. Other car passes in traffic and shoots that car. 21. Oh my God. Yo.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear that.
Yo, because my thing is, again, when you're able to take action like that, what's going on in your life? Like, this is crazy, yo. People are social media whores with death hits. Yeah,
that's very nice. That's very nice of you to say. I had other curse words to say. I mean, I ain't really respond to nobody today because I was too hurt to respond. But I was like, yo, people out here, they savages, dog. They want to talk about dogs on the day where this man died. I want to hear that, man.
The ones that I laugh at are like, and it's like, so X has been around for a long period of time. So he's always like shown love to other people. I love when people make it about themselves. Like they'll find a clip of X like bigging them up and then post that with an RIP. I'm like, that's about you. How you make this about you? Yeah, and I've seen that several times, but that's what happens.
People do that to regular people, though.
Yeah, they do.
they do that to regular people.
The numbers and was equally, if not impartially, X's favorite. That was amazing to see, man. Both of them, man. And that's another thing too about like giving folks their flowers when they're here. It's important, man. Yeah, and I think that's the good thing about that though, because he actually got his flowers around that time with the interviews Cajon was talking about with that, so nice way to put it. Shit's funny though. SMW, yeah.
Social media whores.
Yeah, SMWs. That's what the SMWs.
Clowns.
Yo, X used to live here in Knoxville before I got here. Love is beyond words. He still show up at the Rough Riders Fun. Yo, it's funny because I think X done lived everywhere. I saw someone say, I remember X lived in Buffalo, and X lived in Philly, and X lived here. My man was really about that life.
That's how I got to get around 15 kids.
Impressions or fingerprints easily wiped away from a phone screen. Damn. Okay, Antonio, you showing
off.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, you are.
Clout chasing is so irking. Yeah, I saw somebody post something the other day. It said that if somebody has your actual phone number and they still go to social media to wish you happy birthday, they clout chasing.
I kill put that up. That's our home. I guess I'll be clout chasing because sometimes I don't even go to the phone. I just
Oh,
put it
that's
right on
funny as hell.
SMH. I hope that's not clout chasing. It's laziness on my part. I can't lie.
Yo, you said I'm watching Belly tonight. I go on YouTube and just watch the opening scene every once in a while. That's the illest opening scene ever.
Yeah,
That was
it's
hard.
crazy.
Adrian, 15 kids. Yeah, 15 kids.
Yeah, my man had 15 kids.
15
His,
kids.
his wife left him, and because he had outside kids.
Can't hear you, bro.
His wife left him because he had outside kids. And then,
It's funny.
you
I'm
can
watching this. Oh, first of all, shout out to Adrian because last time we was on here, we was talking about TV. So I definitely did watch the SVU. Let y'all know that, keep y'all caught up to date on my TV watching. I watched that nasty documentary with Jeffrey Epstein, man. The boy was a nasty dude, man. Adrian, I watched the whole thing. He's a nasty man. Out of pocket, out of control. The whole thing was insane. And the way he had people shook was crazy too. I'm talking about people at the highest levels of government. So that was a crazy doc. And if y'all know any docs, let me know. I'm always looking for fire docs to watch. But I'm watching this series on Hulu called Genius, right? The newest season is about Aretha, but I haven't got there. I started from season 1. And it's like it's an anthology series, and they cover like people who are considered geniuses from American culture. So the first season was on like Albert Einstein, and the second season is on Pablo Picasso, and the third season was on Aretha Franklin. But you talk about like legacy, and you also talk about like people that have. And the funny thing is, a lot of the part of the show is it humanizes. It shows all their faults. Like it opens like this is we know them for what they did, but it shows you all the faults and all the things along the way. The crazy part is about like Einstein, and I think about what his legacy is now. Like his name is synonymous with like smarts, and dude has so many issues, but also how I remember being taught about him coming up, about him being eccentric and crazy, and he was none of that. Like, and you read the books, and you actually, and even in his documentary, which is based upon the Walter Isaacson book, he was more of a revolutionary and radical. And what they did was they painted him as being crazy because he was like anti-establishment. Um, but you talk about like a legacy. I was watching a Picasso one, and one of the things I like about this series is it makes you like look things up and look people up as they come across your life. And I was reading about how Picasso has like grandkids now that are active in business or what have you, and they still use his name. Even the ones that are like that are female that have gotten married are keeping his name, and in some cases, their husbands are taking the wife's name. I'm like, because listen, it's opening
damn,
doors for
yo.
them. But you talk about a legacy. That name is opening doors for them. Like they're real family. But imagine like you approach your wife and y'all get married, and she's like, "Yo,
Yeah, I
my,
can't get
my
his name up, dog. We taking that.
listen." But that's how real it is. That's legacy, and a lot of it, they're not even spending his money, but that name still opens doors. I know us as black people, man, we got to get away from that, like that not agreeing with nepotism. I'm about this nepotism life, and it boils
Oh,
my blood when people be like, "I want to do it on my own. I don't want to use my man." Listen,
all
man,
right, go ahead.
no, man, we got to get away from that, yo.
No, I'm
Like,
just saying, I'm not for that.
yeah,
I
we
ain't
got to
for
get
that
away.
life.
But you know what I'm talking
I want my kids to be able to use my name and be able to make it to wherever they gotta go. You know
But
what I
I've
mean?
seen
Like,
it, and the funny thing is, I see it in our community. I mean, you see it in every community, but I mean, I deal with our people, so this is where I see it at. And they be like, "I don't want such and such to know that my father did this," and he's like, "Listen, if your people put in work and they accomplish things, use it. Listen, I'm about that nepotism life. You know what I'm saying? I'm
hard.
about that. For the folks watching, man, how do y'all feel about nepotism, man? I want to make sure I'm not alone in this because I've actually had conversation with people that say I want to accomplish things
Well,
on my own merit.
yeah,
Okay,
well, yeah, go ahead.
make it easier on yourself.
Go ahead. But the thing about it is nepotism is how we get left out of things because other people believe in it. And that's how we become so inclusive and we don't rally for our own folks.
Yeah, but what happens
Is
when everybody else is practicing it but us?
because that's how we get left out of everything. That's why we still getting the first black person to do something in 2021. Is because they believe in nepotism and we don't. But again,
Yeah. Hey, well, a couple of things real quick. Let's get to these comments, right? So Don says that call my clout chasing because I ain't calling nobody to wish him happy beat. Oh, God, I heard that. My name ring bells. That's the old
hey,
adage. What's in the name? This is true. This is absolutely true. Hey, Adrian, that man ain't kill himself, yo. That man ain't
at
kill him.
all. Yeah, this I'm not gonna say there's less than a zero chance that that man killed himself.
So Kahan said, I'm all for nepotism. Yeah,
Yeah,
you already
man.
know, man. But no, and everybody else is practicing it. Like, we gotta practice it too. She says, I use my last name because my grandfather's name is very prestigious in the church movement I was born into. So there you go. Right? Use it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Get out there. You know what I mean? Like, because my thing is, the kids shouldn't start from zero nowhere, and that includes their last name. Like, so you talk about money, but if like my thing is in good deeds, if I go anywhere in North Philly, right, my grandmother name ring bells. Oh, you Miss Kent grandson. Cool. You know what I mean? What you need? You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
it's not because she had a whole gang of money. It's because
How she
of
treated people.
how she treated people. So it don't even have to be about money. You know what I mean? Like that's why we saying like relationships are currency. You know
Yep,
what I mean? Like I made a lot of moves in my life that people had no couldn't you couldn't place me in those places without having relationships. You
bro.
couldn't make me you couldn't make me as a person that would be able to do that without the relationships to get to that place.
Our brother ain't on here. He usually on a Friday show, but he ain't on here, so I ain't gonna put his name out there unless he is watching and say nothing. He called me today with a billionaire on the phone,
Oh
right?
yeah, man. Oh
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
first of
yeah.
all, he called me last week with like the head of the SBA. I'm like, he like, yo,
Yo, my man get busy.
and I won't put his business out there, but he like, yo, because he's usually watching the Friday. He like, yo, yeah, you want to bust this move with it? I'm like, I don't know how that works. Well, hold on. I said, who are you calling? Just hold on. And he called somebody like, hey, it's the head of the SBA. I said, for who? For the city? Oh no, the government.
Yeah,
He called
man.
me today. We were talking about NFT. He was like, you know a lot about NFTs. I got somebody trying to get into space. He called me with a billionaire on the phone. Right now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it to say that relationships.
Are everything.
I've been blessed to be in rooms and things, and it has nothing to do with what I've accomplished or what I have, but just in terms of my relationships. So
Yep.
it's definitely a currency, and that's something that you should be able to pass down, right? You should be able to pass like that down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like that's why I'm, as much as I'm concerned about money, I'm concerned. Like I try not to sully my name in places where I care. You know what I mean? Like my name is probably dirt in the Mayo community, but I don't really care.
Oh, a couple things. First of all, Adrian, I'm about to make that a shirt right now. Shout out to the body.
Yeah,
I'm pro nepotism. I like that. That's
yeah.
what I
I
can
think
do.
I think that's a
Yeah,
shirt.
I'm pro nepotism, but I'm laughing at that. But you said it's a shirt too. My name is Dirt in the Mayo community.
I'm just saying it probably is, but I don't really care because that's not the community I'm trying to affect. So I don't really care. So because I say how I feel, and
Yeah,
them folks don't really like that. You know what I mean? Saying how
come
you
on,
feel will get you. I'm pretty sure there's
man.
business that I've lost out on that side of things because
Maybe we
I've
listen. We talk to our folks. We can be honest. We've turned down. If,
yeah
if people knew the stuff that we've turned down, they'd be like,
yeah
something's wrong.
that same person put us in a room that was going to put us with a put us in a room that we was going to be making a number with an M on the back of it.
But
And
we would have
yeah,
been servicing some other folks that we don't want to deal
yeah,
with. So
no, thank you.
yeah, so we like cool, and people like, you serious? Like, because it's not about the
Definitely.
money, right? So that's the funny thing is like one of the reasons that the partnership with me and Corey works so well is because it's not about income, right? It's about impact and it's about the mission. So as we're in a meeting and they're saying these things and they're throwing numbers at us, I already know how he feels once they tell me who the target audience is. I don't even got to
Yeah.
think about it. Like,
Yeah. He's like, yeah, no. Thanks, no. Appreciate you though. Thanks for thinking of us. Thanks for thinking of us. But yeah, no.
black people have normalized struggle so much that it's worn as a badge of honor.
Yeah, man. We see
Even
that
with,
a lot.
even with our podcast, we've had folks that offer to come on our podcast who probably would make us do crazy numbers, but they from a different community. So we'd be like, nope,
No.
nah.
Nah.
You
Sorry, sorry, dog.
know what I
We
mean?
love you though.
You go
Hey,
IG
listen, continue success. But no, not here. You know what I mean? Because the crazy part is it's not hate, but that ain't what we about. That's not part of the mission.
When I get married again, I won't be taking my husband's name unless it's more influential than my own, and even then, I'll hyphenate.
Ooh, I
Use
like
both
that.
of them. I mean,
I
listen,
ain't even gonna lie, I like that.
if your name holds weight, use both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Corey
Yeah,
Dirt.
dirt. Yo, listen, my name is absolute dirt in certain circles, man.
Definitely a shirt.
My name definitely is dirt in certain circles. Yeah.
Here's a good comment. I used to have a broken mentality against nepotism years ago until I saw these others using nepotism in the business world. And I said, F that, nepotism to the fullest. Yeah, like we gotta be like, think about this though. Think about like a lot of us are working hard for the next generation, all right? So imagine you accomplish something to your kids or your nieces, your nephews, like the next generation, your family, and they don't take advantage of the work that you're putting in now. It's like
Yeah.
you got
It's
to.
like, yeah, it feel like wasted. It's like you wasted your life. You know what I mean? You built this whole life for them to have something, and then they wasted on not, not using that, not using your energy. Like they're wasting energy because it's not like I wasted my energy. They wasted their energy because they didn't use my energy to move forward.
I look at let's just take an example. Say the Kennedys and the Bushes. Like when you start to look at their history, and there's an excellent book. It's about the Bushes, the family history. I forgot the name of it, but they weren't always in the class of that they're in now. But people literally worked
Yeah,
and planned.
the great grandpa Bush he was like a naval something, and then he
Listen,
took that and flipped it.
they planned for it though. That's the thing. Like they actually sit down. This is what we're going to do. Yo, to the point where it was a part in the book that didn't come to fruition yet, where they were talking about how the Hispanic community is one of the fastest growing communities in America, and how, and this is it's not my words. Got it from the book. It says that they even were marrying within that community so they can have a bush like after they have children that's like part Hispanic. Like they literally be out here like it's like
Why?
a lot of times we don't even recognize that we're at war, right? We live in our everyday lives and we don't recognize like what's going on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying at a macro level.
yeah,
But
man.
folks be out here strategizing and planning, and we be out here like I don't want to
Just
use my
living.
daddy's name.
We
Yeah,
literally be out here just living.
and they be out here strategizing and planning like a whole different ball game.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm bringing it back to X, man. His impact, his legacy is going to be even greater than his music. The impact that he had on people's lives. When the impact you had, when you're that great, and the impact you had on people's lives goes bigger than your impact in your in the thing that you've done the greatest. You know what I mean? What you're recognized for. I think that's a bigger impact than anything. You know what I mean? I think that's a bigger impact than his music. Because to be honest, like some of his music ain't for everybody, but what his impact on his that transparency will always have that kind of impact because it's so rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
the legacy of that transparency is crazy. You know what I mean? And there's very, very few people who get to that point where their transparency, they're that great and that transparent.
So Latoya, I'm holding this up for a minute because it's based on what you're saying too. So why people don't like when we speak our minds? They feel like we have the audacity when we don't listen. That reminds me of Hubert Davis this week, who took the job at UNC and talked about being proud to be like the first black coach, but he was also proud that his wife was white.
Oh
Like,
God.
so
Oh, stop me. You about to make me throw up,
this
dog.
statement reminds me of that, like, because no one even asked him that. That had nothing to do with the question. Like, he just had to throw that in there, and it's like I'm reading this book now. I've been reading it for a minute because it's a heavy book, so I'm like going back and reading it. It's called Cass,
Oh God.
Caste for those that
I
don't
gotta
know.
go back and mark that book up, man.
I'm reading it now, and a lot of sometimes I got to stop reading it because I get so upset when you read it. But it talks about how we're almost like afraid to not be ourselves or be who we are because we don't want to rock the boat. And that's kind of like what his statement reminded me of, and also Latoya's comment too. Like we believe in what's the word I'm looking for? We identity politics. Like we fall
Yeah,
for that all the time. We're afraid to be
it's
our authentic self.
trash. And yo, man, listen, like it's not like somebody asked him about his white wife. He brought it up unsolicited. What is wrong with you, dog? Nobody
Yeah.
really cared. Like nobody would have cared that your wife was white. Now
Margarita,
I
thank you.
care.
Margarita,
Now I
thank you.
care.
We appreciate you, and hope you definitely do come back. Appreciate you. But yeah, so no one even asked him that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like,
saying?
because to be honest, I didn't even know. I didn't care, and now you made me care.
Walton, Ford,
All
Ben,
of those are last names.
Rothschild, Trump, and all.
Marriott, all of those are last names.
Hilton.
Procter, Gamble, all of those are last names.
Yeah, man. It's all semantics. Black, live with your parents. White people, live on a compound.
Yeah,
Use nepotism. Why shouldn't we? You're absolutely right. We should. Jimmy scientists
damn
got to
right.
listen locally. They always say we're at war and we don't realize it. That's a fact. It's a fact. It's just a fact.
Yeah, and the thing is, war takes a lot of forms. Everybody think it's always got to be physical.
No doubt.
Most of war isn't physical.
Mm,
That's what
yeah.
most people don't realize. Because when countries like so, if you look at the history of war, right, the first people they kill are preachers, shamans, and anybody who would go against because the thing is they're trying to bring in culture. So anybody who would go against the culture, that's who they kill first. They don't even they don't kill workers and people like that. They kill anybody who would go against culture. So they burn down libraries and they kill shamans and they kill people who anybody who would attach you to that previous culture. That's what they get rid of. So when they brought when you talk about slavery and some of the things they did with slavery, well, that's why they got rid of the language and made them speak the native tongue. That's why they got, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these things are about culture, and that's war. That's warfare.
Well, again, all warfare is based on deception. Sun Tzu says that in The Art of War. Real
Yes,
quick,
indeed.
I want to get to this comment. So Jamil
Yeah.
says nepotism is twofold and depends on culture. I think you should carve your own name and legacy, but then it's hard to lend your name to lazy, degenerate family and friends. You got to raise your own tribe of Kennedys, DuPonts, and small hats with an immigrant mentality. Hey, hold up, though. Here's what I will say about that. A lot of them are lazy, degenerate, or what have
Yep.
you. That name gets them past
All
that.
most of them.
In fact, to quote George W. Listen, he went to spoke to the school and was like, "Listen, be lazy and be good C students. One day you could become president." Those are his words. That's an exact quote.
From him.
So it's like we're held to a different standard. Like we're not even allowed. Like, listen, people are who they are, right? So some people will be hard workers, some people will be go getters, some people are going to be lazy, but we're just held to a different standard. Like we're not, you know, what I mean, like are lazy looked at one way, but they got lazies too. There's some lazy Bushes, there's some lazy Kennedys, there's some lazy DuPonts, and they still are put in positions of power. Economics equal war. Intelligent black society gets this concept. They don't recognize it whatsoever, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean,
Man, listen. Most of war is mental. Most of 95% of it. Like physically, war doesn't most of war is being fought all the time.
yeah, this is facts. These are facts. But we have to yo, I love Latoya, yo.
Yeah. Right to it. Get right to it. Say, like I said on her earlier post, say what's real. Say what's real.
Oh god. So Hubert Davis had to just let his masters know that he's a good house. That won't rock the boat. Yeah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hope he lose every game. Like that was the wildest part about that is nobody even asked you, B.
Yeah,
Like, come on, man.
that's the part that made me mad. Like it wasn't like somebody it was a question and he had to answer a question that came, you know what I mean, something that came about. He did that unsolicited.
Yeah. Oh, this is a fact right here, Antonio. Idea of war is to destroy a mindset that you never have to physically fight, right? So this is what we're talking about. When we don't recognize we're at war, there is no fight. There's no fight because, and again, to Corey's point, warfare isn't always fought on the traditional battlefield that we think about. You know what I'm saying? Boardrooms are battlefields. You know what I'm saying? Congress is a battlefield. You know what
The
I mean?
neighborhood is a battlefield.
Classroom is a battlefield.
Yes, it is.
So, we talk about the criminal justice system. We talk about education, politics, economics. These are all battlefields. So
Religion.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you gonna say what's real, you gotta say what's real, dog. You gotta say what's real.
But the fact of the matter is, man, we got work to do, man. But yeah, man, he definitely was Latoya. But I think that the idea of legacy, man, is something that we need to think about, man. Rest in power to X, man. But like I
Rest in
said,
power to all the gods, man.
yeah,
Rest in power to
absolutely,
all the gods,
man.
man.
Crystal, didn't mean to forget that one because that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, that
It's
might be
crazy.
the biggest one.
Yeah,
That might
because
actually be the biggest battlefield.
yeah, thank you for that, Crystal. Because I was reading something the other day, and it's almost like we operate in the space of economics. We talk about business and economics, but there's so many things. There's so many battlefields that and when you talk to people who are on the front lines of that battlefield, I think it was Kamari that sent us that clip this week, Corey, about the
Yeah,
sister who was going at the who was she going at
she was going at
oh yeah,
the
the AMA.
American,
AMA.
yeah, American, yeah,
And she
you
was
know,
breaking down within she it's this long thread. I'll see if I can find it and share it on our page, but it's this long thread, and she was breaking down this racism with the AMA, historically speaking, and how they've ignored it, and how the battlefield of healthcare. And it's like it opened my eyes to a lot because again, I'm in this space, operating in this space, and I'm like, ignorant to a lot of things. And when you see it, you're like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, this is why I like people tend to get upset at Corey now all the time. You guys always talking about money, and it's like, yo, look, man, what's Sean Carter say? Man, everybody got a part to play. Back to yours. I can't be marching. I can't be doing it. I got to fight this way. You go fight that way. Because there's so many fights. And a lot
yeah,
of
man.
times we get into a space where we're arguing about what's the best way to move. Why are y'all
Instead of
doing
moving,
yeah, you listen, we got so many fights. We need people on all fronts. We need people fighting in healthcare. We need people like, fighting in the education system. We need people
politics,
fighting, we need people
economics,
fighting
we need
criminal
them. We
justice.
need everybody, man.
But yeah, but you're absolutely right, Crystal. That healthcare piece is huge. And
Yeah,
I think
man.
that even me, I consider myself knowledgeable. I didn't even recognize just how deep and from a historical standpoint, how deep it
Yeah,
was.
man. And she was breaking it down. We definitely got to find that thread
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
share it for the folks.
And
She
Pastor
was
DMX
about her
says,
business.
yes, religion is a battlefield. So the quote from Carter G. Woodson: "You control a man's thinking, you not to worry about his action. You can determine what a man shall think, you don't have to concern yourself what he will do."
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Miseducation of the Negro.
Yes, indeed.
I missed that bullshit. When you have to announce your melanin redacted wife made an ancestors block everybody. Adrian is hilarious, yo. Yo, man, Adrian is hilarious. So Jamil says, "Yo, I appreciate that FinVis training in the MDC strategy. That takes major stress off the learning curve. Reminds me of the two things from my mentors. Number one, with an common mentor, yo, yes, that's facts. You don't have to get it right. Mastering a TA in the beginning, you just have to get it going. Listen, Jamil, that comment is everything. I'm glad you got value.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. I don't consider myself a master at anything, but I do consider myself a person who wants to create masters. And if that can help you get to where you want to go, appreciate you, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
that
Thank
commentary.
you for that comment, man. Because like that's the idea, to share what you know. Like all of us are still learning. Like we've been in the business for years, but we're still learning, and we want to share as we learn. And that's the power of doing that. So I'm glad you got value out of that. And for the people that have no idea what he's talking about, that's for our MDC strategy group. Go to mdcstrategy.com. You can see a little bit about that. But we have a special group where we talk about you know our options trading, and we did a training last week about screeners. So, but Jamil, appreciate that comment, bro. I'm glad you got
Appreciate you,
value.
man.
Yeah, so I can't begin to tell you how weak sub average, sub moronic, and qualified male workers. I worked around and watched them get promoted. They're all you listen. That's what I mean. Like they're allowed to be
That's
subpar.
nepotism at its finest, though. That's what I'm talking about with nepotism. That's what I'm talking about with nepotism. You don't nepotism. The only qualification is to be part of the cultural group. That's it.
The fight is the seven cultures of society: arts and entertainment, business, education, family, government, media, religion. There it is. There it is. And the fact of the matter is, we need people on the front lines of all of those things. And what I see a lot
Amen.
of times is the people that maybe, in the arts and entertainment are arguing with the business people who are arguing with government. Especially, like, I see it all the time. Oh, you talk about this money, you got to vote. You got to vote. Like,
We got to do both.
We gotta do
We
all
got
of
to do all of these
them.
things.
All of them. I say all of them. So I didn't even think about this before. The fact that the crime rate and teenage homicide rate is so high, but CHOP doesn't have a trauma unit. It's the #1 children's hospital in the world.
Healthcare. We don't have. How about this? The fact that we live in a city that was more than 50% black for most of the time we've been alive, and it's still 45% black, and we don't have a hospital for us. We live in a city that's 45% black. We should have our own place to go. But that's on us. That's not on the greater society. That's on us.
Cohen says where he works at, nepotism accounts for like 65% of the workforce. Crazy part is I ain't even mad at him. Like a lot of times I get mad at us, right? I get mad at us, which is why, we got to start like, doing things and doing bigger projects. We're working on stuff now we'll bring to you. Like we're trying to like do bigger projects because we got to take action, man. Like it's too much going on. By the way, we will be outside in May
29th.
Coming up, May 29th. Make sure you guys come check us out for those that are local. And even if you want to fly in, we'll be in the town of Delaware, you know what I'm saying? We got this joint is gonna be amazing too, by the way. Let me matter of fact, let me pull it up so I can show you everything that's going on. Cause we got a powerhouse squad coming out. So let me share my screen real quick. Cause we back out in the streets, man. We gotta talk to the people, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So here's the event right here. It's called Real Life Monopoly Investment Blueprint. Presents Real Life Monopoly. It's going to be in Claymont, Delaware on May 29th, 49 days away. You know what I'm saying? So you can go to investmentblueprintmonopoly.com to see it. You know what I'm saying? And all of our speakers are actually in the field doing things they're saying they're doing, right? So this is not like, these are folks that are, out here putting in the work in. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about like using your 9-to-5 to fund your dreams, how to build, leverage, and more personal credit, making passive income with stocks and cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? How having a 9-5 can 10x your goals, how to recession-proof your family, how to build $1 million business with other people's money. And, we got a lot of crazy speakers coming through. You know what I mean? A. Lee. Look, Benisha's coming. We got Tracy, Corey. You know what I'm saying? We got, listen, Atia Blair. Atia Blair is she's a legend in her own right. And we got myself and the Ivy Investor. We all gonna be speaking at this event. So it's gonna be pretty fire. Like, shout out to the Black Wealth Project, yo. We got we dominate that joint, bro. We got 4 of us amongst the 10 speakers. 40% of it comes from our squad. So but they all our squad though. Everybody's our squad. Like A. Lee, you know what I'm saying? Eastern up out of Hill University. So they all our squad. T is a legend too, a legend in our own right.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be dope though. That's definitely gonna be dope. So, if y'all can come through. Man, Adrian, that's another one too. Like when you read the statistics on that, how women are treated at childbirth, like, whew. Yeah. Listen, I don't know if you guys have read the book, but you got to get the book Cass. It's a CAS. Yeah. Cass is an amazing book.
You have to read that book.
Like I'm about to put out a list of like must read books for Black folks, right? Because it's a lot of them. Color of Law, Powernomics, Cass. What's a couple more, Core?
Jewish Phenomenon.
Yeah, I got
Brand Washed.
Bill Brother Bill. Here's my
Bill Brother Bill
right here.
Yeah,
shout to Brother Carson Jones.
Yeah, man. We out here, man. We out here. I got my brother book too, man.
So yeah, but there's some books that are must read. Cass has made that list, man. Cass has definitely made the list. The Color of Law and Cass, those 2 books right there will give you a whole new way of looking at the world, like family properties. So I'm about to make a whole list like of must read books.
Burl Satterjohn, right? Family property. The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Mm-hmm. Mud the Millions.
Yeah.
Own Your Time and Space.
Yeah, must reads, man.
Adrian says, does that say after party y'all out here? Listen, man.
Say what's real, Adrian. Say what's real.
Yeah, man, Maxie Priest, man. I just wanna be close to you. Maxie Priest out here. You already know what it is.
Yo.
Hey, I'm with that. Hey, Patricia, would you be down with that? You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. If you guys want to split them up, we can do that within the group. About a hood book club discussion. I mean, let's see if the people are interested in that, man. Because we could refinance books. We could read. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. somebody passed the Eubanks the collection plate tonight. I skipped Sunday service because of his game. Listen. Yeah, we gotta do a book club going on. That would be definitely dope, man. Because there's a lot of stuff that I like to reread and get people's perspective on it too. Because a lot of times you hear someone else's perspective, they talk about a part of a book, and how it affected them. I'm definitely down with that.
The thing is, if you read it, you gotta take notes because a lot of people just read and they don't take this is because I'm a teacher and this drives me crazy about my students. They'll read the material, but they can't remember 95% of it because they don't write anything down.
Yeah.
So
that's why I used to try to read a book a week, but that's why I moved back to one every other week because I've slowed down and taken more notes and went back and reread. That's why it's taking me so long to read Cass. I just read a book. I've been reading all kinds of stuff, bro. Listen to this one. I just read a book as a biography of Stormzy. Most people don't know who Stormzy is. He's a British rapper, but his biography was still interesting to me, nonetheless. But it took me a while to read it because I'm like going back and reading, his struggles. The thing about it, everybody has struggles. Everybody's struggles are not the same, but everybody
all got struggles.
And a lot of times we say, well, if you don't have it as harsh as I have it, you don't have struggles. It's all relative, though. You know what I'm saying? I've had Cash for months and haven't gotten into it yet. Listen, so Patricia's down, Latoya's down.
They do teach annotations.
Where?
Well, at the school that I teach at, they teach annotations. I teach English. So they do teach annotations at certain schools because I teach annotation.
I didn't know they did.
You can't read without annotating with me.
All right. So sorry, a couple things. I'm down for it. I've had Cash for months, haven't gotten into it yet. So I gotta check with Jasmine. If she got one, we can just all join. I'm gonna check with her.
I'm in for that.
As soon as we get off here, I'm gonna put one in our group. I ask Jasmine, she still got a book club because we definitely want to get into that. We can meet once a month or something to discuss the book. Because
if you go to our IG page, there's a thing. We have a book list on our IG page. When you click on our IG page, there's a book list there.
So here's Jamil's point right here. So I believe wholeheartedly in nepotism, but based on my experience, it's been bullshit. When I came home, cats wanted to put a bag in my hand instead of getting me on at Ford or GM. When I got on gigs, cats didn't have the same work ethic. When I was a DVD plug, cats had every excuse why they couldn't sell DVDs or socks. I get connects to put cats on down here. Decent gigs and apartments. And all they worried about is the pill and meth. Man, listen, the nepotism over here is a whole different story. So, I mean, the thing is, all you could do is offer.
All you can do is what you do. Yeah, you know what I mean? All you can do is put them in position. You can't make them win.
Yeah, everybody in at their place where they can listen. When I started,
you did the right thing though. You put them in position.
When I started having levels of success in terms of community building and having a family, listen, having the folks we talk to now, we talk to every day. Like this is family now. But the thing is, I started having more success when I started looking outside of my family. I tried to build a community and investment club, all that stuff with like my family. I'm talking about my blood family. I tried for years. You got to find your tribe. That's what it really boils down to. And sometimes it's not the people who you think it's going to be. And sometimes it's hurt. It's painful because it's people that you care about. Like
your relatives. But see, this is something I talk about all the time. People that know you from a certain perspective won't ever respect you on the level that people that didn't watch you grow up. Like you're always going to be little Jim to your
this is facts.
Great aunt. Like you're always going to be,
they don't care
cousin Jim. They don't care how successful you are. They don't care about any of that because they love you, the person. And that's not a bad thing, but it's also a thing that might prevent them from doing, getting with you on the business level that they need to get on. You know what I mean? And so because that's happened to me a lot of times. My family, they love me to death. But on the other side, when I try to do business things with them, it gets convoluted in a lot of ways because they watched me grow up. They watched me do all the crazy stuff I did when I was a kid. They also watched me they watched me have success playing sports, but they've also watched me fail at everything I've ever failed at. They also saw that too. You know what I mean? They watched me succeed at everything I've ever succeeded at, and they've also watched me fail at everything I've ever failed at. And so they, it's kind of hard to do that with somebody that knows you that well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why sometimes you just gotta go find your tribe. Definitely start the book club. Okay,
Um,
all right, that's what's up. So it
what's
says
the
Mafia
author for
nepotism over
Cass?
here. I mean,
What's
y'all. Okay, so it says who's Cass author? Isabel Wilkerson, and it's Caste. So Jamil, appreciate that, bro. But absolutely, that's kind of what we mean. Like, we get to create our tribe, like,
for
of
sure, man?
like-minded folks. And Latoya Maurice, that's a t-shirt. Yeah, you got to find your tribe. That's fact. Jamil, man, appreciate you, bro. Definitely appreciate you saying that, man. And we definitely all right. So Adrian got me. Isabel Wilkerson. That's it. That's
Yep.
that book. That book is, man.
Yeah, it tell you a lot about a lot.
I don't want to give the book away, but I was reading a part of it today, and they were talking about like just swimming pools and how black kids were treated as swimming pools.
Oh yeah,
That,
and why?
that shit,
That's why a lot of black
that,
people don't know how to swim now.
that shit broke my heart, yo.
Yeah,
That shit broke my heart. Like, damn, like, and the
yeah,
crazy part is she said something in there, and it's like, I never thought about that either. She says a lot of times people talk about like, well, that was back then and this, that, now. And she was like, well, we've been treated a lot. We've been treated bad a lot longer than we've been treated. Even if you say that we're treated okay now, we still, historically speaking, have been treated bad a lot longer. Like we couldn't even use certain facilities, like 50 years ago. So I mean, but the book is heavy, but that one right there, man. She was talking about like how we were treated at schools. And it's about the caste system. It's kind of like draws a parallel between the caste system in India and what we have here, and how a lot of us don't recognize it. But when you start like doing the research and looking at the numbers, we have a
all
true
the same.
caste system
The,
here.
the numbers are the numbers.
Yeah, man. So, man, that was heavy. But yeah, so Isabel Wilkerson. It says, y'all please share the books. I'll buy it on audio. I'm not going to commit to another club group. Of course, I'm executing whatever I go. I respect that.
Yeah,
You
I
report
respect that a
my
thousand
face.
percent.
And by the way, Cass is on Audible. So yeah, Isabel Wilkerson Cass, it is on Audible, and it's good there too. So bringing it back to legacy. That's why the ill treatment continues. We don't keep the legacy of our pain alive because we're protecting ourselves. However, it continues.
Ooh.
Mm.
Damn.
And we're told like let it go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Things are better.
That's something I've never allowed anybody to tell me. That's something I don't tell other people to do, and that's something I would never allow anybody else to tell. Let it go.
That
Hell no.
that's one of the
Listen,
things I respect about like the Jewish community. Like you tell them to let it go, they ain't trying to hear it.
they
Like
ain't trying to hear that at all.
you know what I'm
Not
saying? Like
at all.
they will they gonna put it in front of your face and continue to put it in front of your face, and they will not let it go. So I respect them for that. Like you know what I'm saying? So all right, let's see. America has always been the caste system. They just created an experience called the middle class with the extension of credit.
Ooh, Passer with the history.
Yo, listen, man. Pastor Eubanks, when you gonna write a book, bro?
Yeah.
You gotta write a book, man.
Yeah,
You gotta write a
Malik,
book.
what's going on, fam?
Good, man. Malik, you good, man? I was actually gonna hit you up to like a check on you, man. Make sure you still with us, man. I know you all right though?
I
You all right,
seen
bro?
Malik in his car getting around doing
No,
doing IG lives.
listen,
I knew
man.
he was alive.
He is back. Yo, he's back out here,
I
bro.
seen him with the IG live gang,
Yo,
so I
he
know he
back out
alive.
here.
Like as long as he alive and he moving and he good,
Yo,
man, I'm good. But
yo,
yeah, get with us, Malik. You know what I mean?
he's back out here, bro. Like, yo, you
He
nonstop,
in the
man.
streets getting to it,
Yeah, you really back out here, man.
and
So
I ain't mad at him at all, man. He done found this groove and he getting to it, and that's exactly how you supposed to do.
yeah, man. So anyway, man, like so just to continue the conversation about legacy, man. We ain't gonna be here too much longer. Just want to say, man, rest in peace to DMX, man. His passing made me think a lot about legacy, a lot about black wealth, a lot about nepotism, all these conversations we're having, a lot about substance abuse, about family, and what it all means, man. So, you know,
You talking about legacy, right?
hey,
The
young Chuck,
legacy right here, the youngest legacy.
what's good, family? You
You
probably
say
met
hi,
him in the
Charles?
door, huh? Hey, what's going on, man?
The youngest legacy right here.
Even now, when I try to turn casting west, it's 10 times worse than being an FOI trying to filter between dry body and building your
All
non-born.
right, go ahead
That's
back
why I
up.
focus on the younger. Say, listen, man, sometimes Corey told me that. I always give Corey credit for that, man, because I've been in the streets for like damn near 19 years trying to help adults. He was like, man, go talk to the kids.
Yeah,
And they're
like
like, damn. So, Pastor need a book of quotables. Yeah, we down with that, man. Put a book of quotables out, man. So Malik said, I can't front. I was a little emo today. Listen, bro. Listen, man. I ain't gonna hold you. That's why I had to get off social for a minute. Everybody,
Yeah,
said Two Comma Carter been dropping the YouTube vids.
for
Listen,
sure.
go to his IG channel, man. He going crazy out there right now.
Yeah, he is.
Have fun kids all day.
All day.
Joe said, "Hey, cutie, where Charlie go?" Unless you're talking about me, but
Oh, she was talking about Charles.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just making sure. Maybe you're talking about me. What's up, Joey?
She don't love us that much. She don't love us that much.
America should be happy that we're asking for equality and not seeking revenge. Otherwise, we burn this ish down. Ooh, yeah, Adrian. That's a fact. Fact though. There we go. Young King. Young King. That's what it's about, man. Listen, man. Yeah. That's what it's about.
We having a show about legacy.
Yeah, man. So for the folks out there, make sure you check out our our current podcast, man. Our current podcast, man, is a very powerful one, man. Karan, who's a friend of the show, he's always in the Black Wealth Project. We talked to him about his life story, and he was so transparent, bro. I don't know if you guys have seen the last episode of the Bodyhood podcast, but please make sure you check it out. And he talked about joining a gang at a young age and how it affected him starting his business. So I thought that was very powerful, man. And yeah, man, so you got to check that out. We got another one coming. We got so many coming up, man. We got a lot of great interviews that we've done that are dropping, but the one with Karan is out there now. So please make sure you guys check that out. And the Black Wealth Project is this Sunday. Come check us out May 29th. You know what I'm saying? We definitely got that going on. And also we talked to another real estate investor who owns, millions and millions of dollars of real estate that's coming up next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we getting busy, man. We still putting the work out there, man. We still working for the people, man. But we back out in these streets next month. Make sure you come check us out, in Claymont, Delaware. You saw we got 4 to 6 folks from the Black Wealth Project. Hey Malik, man, we try and get you, we got to get you put on the bill too, bro. So you can go up there and get up there on the stage and cuss at some folks. Yeah, man. Adrian said I appreciate that, Adrian. Thank you for watching it. Yeah, he was definitely very transparent, man. Like he was I don't know if you guys saw that. He was talking about like what he had to face because he like joined the gang at 16. Like it was crazy, man. Heavy.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
That's the thing though. But see, this is why. And shout out to our brother Ash Cash too. I had a conversation with Ash Cash today. He just had an interview with David Banner.
Ooh,
and if you guys don't know, crazy. Check out Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. He's on the Earn Your Leisure network. So I was telling him, and I was like, that was fire, man. Like, that was dope. And the thing about it is, I told him, I'm like, bro, I'm at a point now where, like, I could watch, your channel. I could watch Earn Your Leisure. I could watch Trapper. I could watch like the Come Up. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching what Malik is doing, our team, the Black Wealth Project, everybody's content. I don't even look for them other folks no more. I don't care. And I'm a kid that was like, I used to watch CNBC all day long because I was interested in like, business and all that. But another thing that a lot of times I don't think we recognize, in Karan's interview made me realize this, that a lot of those folks will give you advice, but it's not rooted in culture. So they can't even understand where we're coming from.
At all.
You don't understand us culturally. So and culture kind of combines. So some people say, well, all financial instruments are the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. And you can't tell it to me in a way that I understand.
It's the missing link between hearing it and learning it.
So that's kind of that's what I was telling Ash. I was telling him how much I appreciated that talk with Banner. The talk with Banner was so far. I ain't gonna lie to you. I watched it twice. Like I watched the whole thing twice. And I told him, I was like, yo, that's your best joint so far. Like, and
the thing is, he gets to it. He gets to it.
Oh yeah,
Ash gets to
it. Ash is fire. His show is fire. But I just had to like tell him that, man. And I got hit Trapper up too because he was on the Breakfast Club this morning.
Yeah, he was this morning.
That. But my point is, and I think Don just said it in here, we literally don't have to go outside of our community for financial knowledge no more. Those days are done. Like I don't need to see all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
at all.
Listen, I can just go watch Malik. Malik on live every day anyway. I can go watch him. Oh, he said Lee don't want you to live. Oh man, Lee gonna let you live, bro. Preach Don. That joint was definitely fire.
Yeah, it was.
He said Karan interview was inspiring, especially when he talked about therapy. And that's another thing. He was open. He said, man, I've been in therapy every week for 10 years dealing with the trauma. But he still was able to have multiple businesses, a real estate portfolio, all that. But he recognized, like, so
Yeah,
definitely
man.
check the interview out, man. And Don, this is exactly what I'm saying. We don't have to go outside. You know what I mean? Like, that's like someone telling you how to make it out the hood. They've never been there. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh man, Jamil, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Oh man, thank you,
Oh,
bro. Thank you, bro. That's everything,
damn,
man.
yo. Yo, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm already emotional, man. You about to have me in my
yeah,
bag, bro. I
yeah,
appreciate
like
you, bro, man. Thank
I'm
you for
already
saying that.
emotional about X, and then you putting this stuff out here, man. I'm about to shed a sub tear.
We need community-wide therapy, Adrian. We definitely do. Like, but a lot of times people don't recognize that, man. But the crazy part about it is, here's what's ill about it. And I'm gonna end this on a good note, man. Is we dominate everything that we get into. So a lot of times when you see us being held back and us being treated a certain way, it's because the rest of the world recognizes our power. Once we recognize our power, that's when
Yeah,
it's
that's why they try to keep us from getting exposure. Because once we have exposure, you
we dominate. And I don't care what
domination.
it is, what it is, what it is. Anytime someone gives you advice, you have to know their worldview perspective, what they stand to gain or lose. Facts, Pastor, that's facts. So the fact of the matter is, that's the good thing about it. And it's on a positive note, is the fact that, we are here on a Friday having a great conversation. We appreciate you guys, but when we come together like this and just have
What did I
conversation
just
and
say?
build together and learn together, look, Charlie went from being the cute little boy to Corey over here threatening now.
Yeah, like what I just say, man. Yo,
That's
what I just
legacy.
say? Yo, because he hit me in the head with stuff. He over here throwing. I got him one of those bracelets, one of those like the Lance, what's the boy name? The Lance Armstrong joint, but it's not one of those. It's from a black person. But the thing is, he taking it off and he keep throwing it at me, hitting me with it. I
Let
just
the young,
told him to stop.
listen. Let the young king live, man. But yeah. Listen,
I
I
just,
agree with you.
yeah, I
The,
just told him to stop. Like, come on, man. What I just say about hitting me with stuff, man?
the
Stop.
part of therapy that makes it powerful is we unlock things inside of free inside of us. Yeah. So, folks, I just want to leave you with this message, man. Listen, when we come together and we build together, we can definitely do we can definitely do amazing things. Corey got me laughing over there. And everybody watching you too, bro. He said you switched daddy mode with the quickness. He went from legacy, my little son, to threatening. Oh man, shout out to Charlie, man. Young King Charlie, man.
Yo,
But yeah, man.
cuz man, he over here violating my space, man. He hitting me with stuff. Like, I wish you could see what he over here doing to me. Well, I'm trying to mush his head and keep him away. Like, that's why I keep raising my arm to mush his little head. So he won't keep hitting me with stuff.
Just before we about to get out of here, man. Before Corey catch a case, because this is streaming live everywhere, man. We don't want our brother Corey to catch a case, man. So anyway, man. Listen, guys, stay in tune with us. You'll see us Sunday on the the Black Wolf Project. Catch us in the group Sunday morning, MDC show. We will be live on the MDC show. The MDC had an amazing week. Everybody cashed out. Hopefully, I know some of y'all being greedy still. You know what I mean? I know some of y'all are. But anyway, man, we'll see you Sunday morning, Sunday evening. We'll be around. Yeah, pick him up. All right, get him, Charlie.
Yeah, like he keep hitting me. Say
Charlie,
hi. Say hi to the people. Say hi.
what's
Use
up,
your
Charlie?
words. Say hello.
Hi.
All right, y'all. We out of here, man. For my brother Corey, catch a case. All right, Charlie. Peace, man. See y'all
See
next
ya.
week, man.